Hey kids, so today we talked about transformations of a graph. And so let's go over vertical shifts first, okay? If you have a parent function, we usually say f of x equals, this one has a slope of 1/2 x. And see how it doesn't have anything behind it? That tells me that my b is just 0, or my y-intercept. And then my slope is 1/2. So if I was to graph this, I'd start at 0, and I would go up 1 over 2, because it's positive. Up 1 over 2. And let me go backwards, so I'll go down 1, backwards 2, down 1, backwards 2. And so my parent function, f of x equals 1/2 x, would look like this, okay? And so at 0, if we wanted to get our ordered pairs, it would also be 0, because 0 times 1/2 is 0. 2, let's try 2. 2 times 1/2 would be at 1, and if I go over 1, 2, up 1, hey, it hits. And let's try 4. 4 times 1/2 would be 2, and let's test it out. If I go 1, 2, 3, 4 on my x, up 2, hits there too. So that was a little review of how to graph. But let's say I've got my transformation. G of x equals f of x minus 2. Simple substitution. I know that f of x is equal to 1/2 x. So I will substitute 1/2 x for f of x, because they're equal. 1/2 x, and I just plug it in, and then I bring down my minus 2. So my g of x looks like this. And so here, my slope is 1/2, because that's in my m spot. My b, though, now is a -2. So if I go to graph this, I'm going to go down 2, 1, 2, because my b, or my y-intercept, is at -2, and my slope, it's going to be up 1 over 2, up 1 over 2. And then I'll go backwards, down 1, backwards 2, down 1, backwards 2, because my slope is y over x. And then I would graph this one. And I can see that already it shifted down, right? And if I wanted to check to make sure that my points are right, I could plug in at 0. If I plug in a 0, 1/2 times 0 is 0 minus 2. It'd be at -2. 0, -2, hey, it hits. If I wanted to try, let's try 2, because that looks like my other point. At 2, 1/2, when we plug it in, 1/2 times 2 minus 2 would be 1 minus 2, which equals to -1. Let's see if it's there. So when my x is at 2, 1, 2, down 1, hey, it works, so we're doing this right. And let's try, it looks like it hits at 4, so let's try 4 for my next x. And I'll do 1/2 times 4 minus 2. 4 times 1/2 is 2 minus 2 equals 0. Does it hit 0? Yes, it sure does. So vertical shifts, if you add or subtract a number to the end of the function, we'll just shift it up and down. If it's a negative number, it shifts down. If it's a positive number, it'll shift up.